What's up, Nail Geeks, and welcome to a new KBShimmer video. I am very excited. It's always a fantastic time when KBShimmer releases a new collection, and we have the Growing Personality collection to check out. This is their spring collection. The name itself just makes me laugh because I had this bank job a very, very long time ago, and I worked with this man that I absolutely hated. He was, for lack of better words, he was a real pig. I did not like him at all. And there was one time, I have a very dry sense of humor in real life. I'm super dry, and it's just funny to me. It just reminds me of this one time we were in the lobby and I was counting down my drawer, whatever I was doing. This was so long ago, and I remember I said something along the lines of like, I don't know, he was bragging about himself and talking about how awesome he was. And I was just like, you certainly have an award-winning personality. And I remember he like instantly picked up on that and was like, coming from you, that's not a good thing. And I was like, I can't imagine that it would mean anything else regarding you. But anyways, I don't know. That's just a random thing. It's been a long time since I thought about that. So every time I see like award-winning personality, that's one of my favorite things to say about people I don't like. It's that or like growing personality. I don't know. That's such a tangent. Anyways, KBShimmer's new collection is super pretty. You're not here to hear me talk about stories. It's great. It's a heavy magnetic collection. We have quite a few pretty ones. Now, a little bit of a sidebar, sort of. It's not as irrelevant as me working with individuals. We have a new magnet to check out on the channel today. I am heavily in favor of the ring magnet. You see it all the time on the channel. I have used a velvet magnet here and there. It's not my super cup of tea because I feel like when I'm doing photos, which is usually what makers are approaching me for, is the use of my photos. Most of the time, I should say. I feel like on my photos, the velvet magnet doesn't show off what is the magnetic pigment as much as the ring magnet. And I also like the design of the ring magnet. With that said, if you hear sniffing around the microphone, I apologize. She's doing, this is not food, baby. This is not food. You all can see real quick how big Chai has gotten. This is Chai. She's beautiful little thing. She's so big. Anyways, there's so many tangents in this video. I apologize. With that said, when we got our PR information for this collection, it was requested of us to do the velvet effect for photos and or video, I guess. So I have KBShimmer's new-ish horseshoe magnet. Now, I've heard that you can use a 30-pound horseshoe magnet on nail polish, and that just seems wild to me. I know I've said it in the past that it is on the back burner to a magnetic tutorial, a thorough new magnetic tutorial video for this channel. I just haven't gotten around to it. I do apologize. But KBShimmer sent me theirs to not just try out, but also use on this collection. And woo, this is powerful, for lack of a better word. It is powerful. So I am very excited to show that off for you all. So we are going to we're gonna check out the magnet. I'm gonna kind of show it to you up close and personal behind me here in just a moment. Then we're gonna go over the collection, and I also have a new sugar scrub that's going to be launching alongside this collection too. A new smelly good to sniff test for you all at the end of the video. So I'm going to quit yammering. This has been just all kinds of pulls all over the place for this video. I'm gonna calm myself down. Let's get started. Let's dive into this gorgeous spring collection. Okay, so this is the behemoth, as I'm dubbing it. This is the 30-pound horseshoe magnet from KBShimmer. It comes just like this in a cardboard box with some tissue paper in it. I kept the box and I have it in my nail desk drawer. You do not want this anywhere near phones, cards, electronics, that type of thing. This sucker packs a punch. It's quite weighty on the hand. It feels like maybe 2 or 3 pounds in my palm. And I was kind of figuring out here, I left this in, I didn't edit it out. So you could see how it was kind of like first impression, like, all right, what is this thing? What you can do is take the top metal plate that comes off. You'll need to pull that off. Later on in the video, when we get to the swatches, you will see exactly how I'm using it with the nail polish. You want to very carefully move this metal plate on the top off. You can absolutely break a nail on this, pun intended, all that good stuff. Be very careful, be mindful of it. I kind of started sliding it off and then I realized, oh, I need to show my audience what I'm doing. So you can see it's not something you can just pop off. Gently slide your thumb on it and just slide it off. Now, I was using this magnet for the last 3 weeks since I got it in from KBShimmer. All of y'all are going to start seeing it on the channel quite a bit over this next batch of spamathon I have for y'all this weekend. So you will see more of this, I promise. The horseshoe magnet itself, I will say just a full-on disclaimer here, does not work well with the DRK Magic Magnetic Top Coat. You need to magnetize each of your layers individually. Again, more on that in the actual swatching portion of the video. I wanted to make these quick disclaimers real fast so you get first impressions along with me, as again, this was the first time I've ever used a horseshoe magnet and I have put it through the damn ringer the last 3 weeks of using it. Just to reiterate, when you store this thing, keep it in the box. I highly recommend that. Keep it in the box away from everything else. It will pull all the things on your desk if you have anything metal on it like what I do. So be very cautious, be careful, and keep it solo in a spot on your desk when it's in use. So now let's get to the swatches. All right, so we're gonna kick this off with You Wish. This is a pale silvery gray base loaded with holographic glow flakes. This is so lovely, and I will never tire of these beautiful, somewhat shimmery, but quite holographic in a very dense, scattered type way, silvery finishes. This is flattering across the board. It's what I would describe as being a true silver overall appearance. The shimmer in this is very strong, as you can see on my full hand shot there, and it has excellent opacity. 2 coats and a glossy top coat was all I needed. Growing personality, described as a magnetic red polish. And polishes like these, especially in KBShimmer's collection, were designed to be velvet magnetized, which you can see why on the swatching portion here. This is incredible. Each of the layers that I'm doing this in my recording and in my swatching, you are seeing me do this roughly 30 seconds. I didn't really change that much in my routine in terms of that. Magnetize each of your coats, and then when you go in with your glossy top coat of choice, you're seeing KBShimmer's glossy top coat PS in this video. It's awesome. Make sure you are magnetizing your glossy top coat layer 2 and you are good to go. This looks sick magnetized. Tulip to Apologize is a pink jelly base loaded with golden shimmer that gives it a peachy salmon lean to it, and it glows purple in the dark when charged by the sun. I want to note in our PR information, it does state that this needs to be charged with the UV or basically the sunlight to get it to glow in the dark to kind of kickstart it. I personally use a UV/LED nail lamp, and I just wanted to say, blanket statement, I had no issues getting it to glow in the dark. It kickstarted very well. I always recommend charging glow in the dark polishes to get the maximum effect. And as you can see here, this glowed in the dark so very bright for me. This has a very viscous, thicker type of formula to it. I'm going to suggest 2 coats, a glitter smoother, and a glossy top coat, as it did dry down on the somewhat gritty side because that's just indicative to glow-in-the-dark pigments. So you'll need a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat together. In this video, I am using KBShimmer's glitter smoothing top coat. It's another fantastic one that 10,000% gets my stamp of approval. I Lily Love You is a warm toned multichrome. This is a warm type of color shift across the spectrum here that you're going to see across your nails. It's, to me, very much on this like brick red type of coppery colors. You'll see some golds at angles, all that fun stuff. And there's a touch of orange dominantly in the first duochrome shift you'll see here, like on my macro shot. I'm going to suggest 2 normal, or if you're like me and you're extra, you like that plump appearance, 3 super thin coats and a glossy top coat. Bumbling Around is a shifty yellow-orange polish. This is what I would say has a really, really teeny tiny light chartreuse lean against my skin tone. It's one of those greens, in my opinion, that I think is going to play up against your respective undertones. I am super warm toned, so I think it does have that chartreuse lean, and it is shimmery good. This is another one that I stopped at 2 coats. It's quite plumping in its just nature of application. So yeah, I thought 2 coats was great. It will dry down quite flat, but I didn't need a glitter smoother. Just stop with a regular glossy top coat. Best Fronds, going back to magnetic finishes. This one's described as a moss green magnetic polish. So pretty, and it gives you that strong type of velvet effect when you go in with the horseshoe magnet. I cannot hype this magnet enough. I'm kind of kicking myself, to be honest, that I've kind of shied away from doing the velvet effect. I kind of like to be pretty original in what I'm doing, and I don't know. I definitely have to say that I'm sold on the velvet effect. I went super extra and long on my finger wiggles to kind of demonstrate it, and in person it looked even cooler. So on Best Fronds, I'm going to suggest 2 coats and a glossy top coat. You Floral is my top pick out of this entire release. This is magic on the nail. This one's described as a bright aqua leaning blue magnetic base. So we have a glorious blue color, and I know I'm always biased on blue polishes, but when I see a damn good one, I like get my stamp of approval out. Like one of these days I'm gonna get a big red rubber stamp and just like stamp the desk behind my nails when they get my top picks. This is ridiculously pretty, and in the background there is a bit of a purple type of shimmer to the part that's not showing the magnetic pigment. It is really lovely, and chef's kiss, flat out. Chef's freaking kiss. Good job, KBShimmer. This is a beautiful polish. Blossom Job is a soft purple jelly base with reflective glitters. This is my second pick for the set. Honestly, the magnetics are beautiful and stunning, so I don't know. I feel like those are like top tier for me. I'm just so smitten with that horseshoe magnet. But anyways, Blossom Job, KBShimmer also does reflective glitter finishes very well. I love them when they are not skimping for glitters. This is no exception. There's a ton here. This has that typical gritty reflective glitter finish dry down. So I use KBShimmer's Smooth Moves Glitter Smoother and the glossy top coat, and you can see it smooth everything out. I'm going to suggest 2 coats with this. Make sure you're letting your coats dry in between to get that nice gritty dry down, and then go on to your next coat. Constant State of Phlox is a bold purple base with a reflective glitter finish that kind of leans between orchid and a heliotrope purple. If you like those kind of pinky purple type of strong purple shimmers, how many times can I say purple? This one's going to be up your alley. Another one that I chose to stop at 2 coats, and very similar to Blossom Job, use the grit and the dry down from your previous coat to adhere the next. Stop at 2 coats because these do plump out really well, especially after you go in with your glitter smoother and glossy top coat, and it's perfect. Magnificent on that super sparkle factor. Root Awakening is our last polish and magnetic for this collection. This is a soft beige magnetic finish. This is one of those types of colors that I will always forever associate with like a wedding color. And ironically enough, the most recent wedding I went to, I actually wore like a beige, like taupe silvery colored dress like this. And I'm so wishing I had this polish. I would have so rocked it with that dress. But anyways, Root Awakening, same thing. I stopped at 2 coats. Again, PSA, bells and whistles, magnetize your glossy top coat layer 2 and keep your nail at least 20 to 30 seconds on that magnet. The magnetic pigment used in this collection across the board, they were very responsive to the magnet. No need to, just wait and move it. As you can see on each of the magnetic swatching shots of the video, you can see how well it responded. And we're going to wrap this up with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. You Wish looks pretty cool over black. I do think it gets the approval in that regard. The magnetics across the board look amazing toppered over black. I will say that. They do have their respective tints to their bases, so that's just something to keep in mind if you want to layer them. Tulip, to Apologize, looks like a completely different polish. I was pleasantly surprised. I Lily Love You also looks really cool over black, though I would stick with Matchy Match if you do anything outside of the color black. Bumbling Around is kind of like Tulip, and it looks really cool. Back to the magnetics here, Best Fronds. Very, very cool. This is such a beautiful silvery type of color. This is the one magnetic you might be able to go a little out of bounds in terms of not sticking with Matchy Match or just a black undie. Are You Floral can do absolutely no wrong in my eyes, and I cannot stop saying that, and I will not stop saying that. Blossom Job and Phlox, both of them passed the test too, though personally I would stick again with Matchy Match colors and or black. And then lastly, of course, Root Awakening looks really cool over black. That horseshoe magnet, it completely gets my stamp of approval. And the sugar scrub dropping along with this collection is in the scent Farmer's Market. This is a really interesting scent overall. To my nose, it is very much earthy and it is reminiscent of a farmer's market. To my nose, I'm getting a super, super soft fruity note at the top. And then there's a really soft floral note to it. And I think for the base notes, this most prominent one that's to my nose is that amber. It's a little bit warm in terms of rounding the soft floral and fruity notes. It's very pleasant. It's a really, in my opinion, kind of a difficult one to describe to my nose, but just soft floral with a touch of a warm note to it and a soft fruit thing. I have raved about these on my polish pickup videos. You can use these in the shower. Just be mindful of a slippery tub, rinse it really well. And you can use them on your hands for a 30-second mani, and you can also use them on your feet too. These scrubs are awesome. And if you enjoy somewhat fruity, somewhat floral, I definitely recommend grabbing this scent. The Growing Personality collection and the new sugar scrub and the magnet. I believe the magnet was on back order last I heard, but it might be in time for this this launch. The whole shebang is going to be launching starting April 11th. This is subject to change, though, based off of things on KBShimmer's end. I will happily correct my face here if that's the case, if it's going to get pushed to possibly Friday, April 18th, depending. I'm trying to get ahead of time for scheduling face recordings, things like that. So I will link you below to KBShimmer's website if you want to check that out. And I will also link you to KBShimmer's Facebook group if you want to join that and interact with Christy, the maker. She's really awesome and all that good stuff. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.